It might, yeah, cool. So basically, what I'm going to do, the reason I haven't asked you any questions prior is because I want this to be very genuine and honest, right? That's what I want. I don't like, there's just too much non-genuine, non-honest stuff out there. So that's why you don't know what the questions I get. There's about 5 of them or so. I'm planning on sort of snipping them to make a snippet for Instagram for each question. So they're just short ones, but then I'll put the whole thing pretty much on my landing page, including this. People can just watch the whole thing, like uncut, so that they can, you know, you can just see how real and genuine it is. That's my goal.
Okay, that's a good goal.
Cool. So first question is, what were you struggling with before you joined?
Having a strength program that really supports what I want, I think. Like, I really struggled of finding someone, first of all, who gets what I want, or maybe try to help me figure out what that actually is, because I'm very good with knowing what I don't want, but I don't really know what I want. I mean, we had that before in our really nice conversation about not really, or like knowing what you don't know, and then not knowing what you don't know. So having actually someone who has the understanding and the knowledge, and then also the capacity to properly guide, and then ultimately getting as strong as I can for the mats, which just is not just strength, but then also the whole mobility of it, the flexibility, the being mindful about what is it that I need, and getting to know my body better, and also like trusting my body on the mats and not getting like hurt in weird ass positions. So
yeah, cool. That's awesome. How long have you been a member?
I actually don't know.
Oh, it's been a while, I think.
How long have I been a member?
Let's have a look.
A few years at least.
Yeah.
2 maybe? No? Can it be?
Oh yeah. Well, you were with me with the original app, right? Yeah.
Because I think I saw Fion do a workout by you, and
she was with me for CJI 1.
Exactly. And I remember that in that summer whatsoever, I made a decision to actually join the European Championship in Nogi, which would have been like my first major and like I think my second overall ever competition. And I had like, oh my God, I need to lock in and actually do a proper program here. And then I saw her doing yours. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Also, obviously, a woman doing the scheduling, because it's been before. So I had a few personal trainers, but then they didn't do jiu-jitsu themselves. And then I had a few personal trainers who were men who also would do jiu-jitsu, but it's still a little bit of a difference, obviously. And then finally finding someone like you who's doing jiu-jitsu, who knows the shit, but is also a woman that you can also complain about very female things and they actually get you. And not just say that they get you. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. I'm like, do you though? So I think that was in like summer 2024.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because I remember you were with me for a solid amount of time before you changed over. So I guess what I was getting at was the things that you struggled with before. Do you feel like you are still struggling with them because you've been hanging around for a while? So,
thanks.
we like that, obviously.
Good. No, I don't. Now it's been like personal issues, like injuries and little setbacks, and from also shift in priorities, where I was like going, okay, well, I want to do some studies and I'm going to prioritize on work and not as much on like jiu-jitsu, for instance. Like there's always like the life part that comes in as well, which has been fabulous with you because it's like so adjustable and it's perfect for any kind of situation. Because this is obviously one of the most important staples, especially like also women now, for me, soon mid-30s. Obviously, I've been training now also for some time, so I think I have a very good base. But in terms of what happens with us biologically, we need strength training and not just mobility and flexibility training. So that is obviously like a non-negotiable. but to actually have it to all kinds of BJJ practitioners, or not even needing to be a BJJ practitioner, but you want to be fit and healthy for whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I think this is great.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's also obviously seems to be more than just those reasons that I'm been stuck with this and with you. Stuck around for so long.
I mean, that was
I'm
all the
pretty
love.
satisfied.
Yeah,
I mean, this
that's
is the
awesome.
longest I stuck with any, so I'm like,
That's
there you
that's
go.
so good. Like it's actually from everyone else I've spoken to today, I've said the same thing. So it's kind of nice for me to hear. I'm like, oh, I'm doing
There
something
you
right.
go. I definitely.
So next question is, were you hesitant about anything before you started?
Like what?
Anything at all. So I've had, I mean, I don't want to lead you, into the
No.
questions, but sometimes people have things that they are worried about if they join a program, or if they don't know if it's going to be worth the price or the investment or anything. Did you have any concerns there? No, because you'd done programs before, so you kind of understood the value of an online coach. Yeah, that's cool.
I've done multiple before, also from very like when I started out. I mean, like I started strength training in like, what was that, 2013 or 14, with like a roommate in the city where I studied who was like a proper hardcore bodybuilder. So I actually back then had him, and then there were like people in the gym where you like get a PT. But I always kind of understood the value of someone who's been doing it for a long time. And my next thing is also that I don't mind at all spending money on things like my health. I feel like that's like the number one thing. And I have to admit though that I'm not the most frugal person in general. So I mean, there's like it's debate like that. But then obviously of like making decisions around it, this is usually not something where I'm trying to be cheap, because I also know that this is something that you worked on incredibly long, gaining that knowledge and being in this field. And I know also how it works in terms of at some point you're not paying for like what they actually do in the moment, but you're paying obviously for the knowledge that they gained and for the time they invested and for all the work they did prior to stream like this and to make it maybe look this effortlessly and like such a small job. And I also try to do my own programming and like trying to figure out how to schedule things and how to put in exercises. And I was just like, fuck shit. I cannot be bothered. This is intense. So I'm like, I'd rather pay someone good to do their job, and then I get the good results. So I'm like, no hesitation there.
No, that's awesome. And that's like nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head. Can you share any specific wins as a result of the programs, or like have you found any benefit to them when you're on the mats during matches or anything like that? Have you noticed any?
I mean, I won the big major. I signed up after like signing up with you. Like I just shared, I did the decision to join you in summer 2024. I won the No-Gi European Championship in October 2024. So I feel like that's a very nice result to that for sure. And I think also it came very much due to the work that I put in, obviously on the mats, but then also in the gym, because I felt just really sharp and athletic and fast. And I am a pretty, big woman, let's say. I'm like at 180 and like 82 kilos or whatsoever. So to then actually move quickly and fast, and I was in the super heavyweight category with like a bunch of girls of all sizes, which is also something to be like, oh yeah, okay, that's some strength and weight there. But I didn't feel like not being able to handle it at all. And I'm also known as the strong and athletic one on the mat due to these things. I think that is one point. And the other point is just like resilience. I feel like I'm more resilient. I mean, I had all these like smaller to medium-sized setbacks and little injuries, but I feel like if I wouldn't have had this space and this consistency in training holistically, like not just like pure strength, but also explosiveness, athleticism, plyometrics, flexibility, mobility, it would have been way worse.
Yeah.
And I get hit with something, but I'm able to bounce back fairly quick.
Yeah.
Which I think now looking also like longer back has not been the case as much prior. So I think that is actually a good tell as well that I'm doing something right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that is a big thing that I try to tell people, like, we can't avoid injuries, especially in a combat sport. But if you do get them, maybe they won't be quite so bad. And maybe you will come back a little quicker from them, you know? So
I can definitely support that. Like that has been my experience mostly, that you're like out a little bit and then you're just like, okay, gotta chill a week or two and then you're back as before instead of like other people.
Oh. There she is.
Hey, what was that?
I don't know. You just left and then it said the participant has left. I was like, oh, okay.
I didn't.
Why?
You were frozen. And I'm like, what was that?
Maybe we reached a time limit or something.
I think we might have
Because
actually.
it's been an hour, actually.
It's like an hour.
An hour.
I think it just froze an hour.
All right.
Okay, do you want to do the last part again?
Yes. So I think I feel like you pretty much answered. Can you share any specific wins as a result of the program? And then we were talking about how you were definitely agreed with me that like resiliency and returning from injury happens a little quicker.
I also tend to ramble a little bit.
That's okay.
Talking a lot.
And only one more question, actually. Is there
Mhm.
anything that you would say to someone who's been on the fence? Maybe they've been trying to decide whether or not they should join not just any strength program, but this one.
Are you recording though?
I think it says I'm recording. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Not on my end, so I just had to be sure.
Really? Maybe. No, it says it's being recorded still.
Okay. So what I would tell to someone who's hesitant in joining the program, I have to say that I'm not really fully. I mean, I can probably like obviously understand why one would be hesitant, but I have not really been hesitant myself due to the reasons I laid out. So I feel like the best and most important thing you can do is invest yourself, and this is an important and absolutely necessary at these days and times for any woman. I feel like to invest in yourself in terms of like strength training and having a healthy, resilient, fit body, which also leads to quite the resilient and fit mind. So I would definitely say this is important. Do it if you have the chance. If there are some reasons in terms of financial, etc., that's obviously a different issue. But then I would say there are ways to do joining some of the free programs, doing some of the tryouts, being a part of it, and then also just having like, okay, well, I have the options to have this free stuff, repeating that, and then maybe having the option to join later on. I think you're also like very good to putting it to the levels that people need it. I mean, you have different options to like joining. And then also it's just like, just give it a go and try it out. I mean, like, what is there to lose? Nothing really. There's like literally everything to gain and nothing to lose. And the time gonna pass anyway that you're sitting there and wondering about something. So you might as well just do it.
Yeah.
I seem so like full of myself, but I'm just like,
no, that's exactly what I say. Like, there's nothing to lose and everything. 7-day free trial. It's free workouts. It's no contracts. There's no anything.
exactly. And I mean,
Right.
even that one, if you have it, you can do that for 2
Yeah.
weeks even, right? I mean, there's nothing bad with it, and then you're going to see the results if you do it a bit longer for yourself and be like, damn, okay, that girl knows what she's about, and then might as well join.
Might as well. You
Might
heard
as
her.
well. Might as well.
That's awesome. I'm going to stop the recording
Mhm.
now.